This is gonna be our suitcase deadlift. The suitcase deadlift is a single-sided deadlift. Kettlebell or dumbbells head off to the side. And a really good rule of thumb as we go through these is that if someone was watching you and didn't realize you only had something in one hand, they shouldn't be able to tell. There should be so much tension across the body that both sides are working pretty evenly, pretty smoothly, as if there was something in each hand. So I'm gonna have Janelle get herself set up. She's using a kettlebell today. The kettlebell is gonna be off to one side. And you know what? We're gonna redo this one. We're gonna start from the bottom. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and sit down. No, set the kettlebell down. Oh. You stand up. Okay. This is gonna be our kettlebell suitcase deadlift. We could also do this with a dumbbell. The beauty of the suitcase deadlift is it trains anti-rotation. It trains us how to build enough tension through the torso and the ribs that as we hinge, even though we're loaded only on one side, that kettlebell, that load isn't gonna win. In fact, what we're gonna try to do is make it so that it looks like Janelle is holding something in each hand, even though only one side is loaded at a time. So Janelle's gonna come up and stand next to her kettlebell, so it's to the outside of her foot. And I really like it in line with like the pinky toe or so. Janelle's gonna get herself set up for the deadlift by pushing her butt back and hinging forward. If you need a review of how to hinge well, take a look back at the PVC hinge. That's a really good place to start. Janelle's gonna grab it, and as she grabs the kettlebell, I'm gonna ask her to bring the kettlebell not into her fingertips, but up into the middle of her palm, and then locking the thumb around and on top, which is gonna give her a really strong grip and a lot of shoulder activation on that right side. Before she lifts the kettlebell up, she's gonna square up her shoulders, because this right shoulder's down a little bit. Great, and then she's gonna squeeze her butt, stand on up, and then push her butt back and come down into the next rep. So I'm gonna have Janelle do 4 more of these. So from the side, what we should see is that the hips are moving backwards and that the whole torso, the upper body, is moving as a single line, right? We could pretend like there was something in Janelle's left hand. Those hands are staying pretty parallel. So these look really good. I'll have her go 1 more. Great, and then bring that kettlebell all the way to the ground. So we want to get in the habit of moving the kettlebell as safely as possible. If it's been in one hand, we could use both hands to bring it to the ground, or we could just use one. What I'm gonna ask you guys to not do right now is to not change hands with the kettlebell. Actually work it off the ground, because learning to pick the load up from the floor is an important step. If it's hard for you to get all the way to the ground, you can always elevate it by putting it on, say, a 12-inch box. I'm gonna have Janelle now face towards me, and she'll step to the side of the kettlebell. We're gonna go again on the left side. This way you guys can see what I'm talking about with this nice hinge. So Janelle's kettlebell is next to her pinky toe. She pushes her butt back. She grabs the kettlebell, she over grips it, she gets it up into the palm, locks the thumb, she checks that her shoulders are square. These look really good. This is a nice long spine. She's gonna squeeze her butt, stand on up, and then hips go back as she comes down. And you'll notice that there's a little bit of a knee bend. She's not adding a ton. Right, this isn't a squat. This is mostly about the hips working, and you know that's going well if the butt is moving back. And again, this nice long line from her tailbone through the back of her head. Fantastic. Suitcase deadlifts, guys, we don't have to go especially heavy on these. If you start losing form, if you can't find the hinge, go lighter with it. Janelle, just 1 more? Or not, we're good. Thanks, Janelle. And guys, that is our suitcase deadlift.